Become a master negotiator. How to get what you want every time. As an entrepreneur, business builder, and corporate ladder climber, I've had to get comfortable asking for what I want. It's rarely given. The tough part is, as humans, we are typically uncomfortable not only in asking for what we want, but also how we ask for what we want. If I had a dime for every time I've been called aggressive, crazy, intense, or worse, I would have a lot of dimes. But the thing is, there is an even more efficient way to do this. According to Harvard negotiators, negotiation isn't about splitting things 50-50 or insisting on your way or my way. And it is definitely not about winning or losing. If you're asking who is winning, you've already lost. So, what is a negotiation about? Let's look at two examples real quick. Two kids argue over an orange. The parent takes the knife, cuts the orange 50-50, and gives each kid half. One kid eats the fruit and throws away the peel while the other uses the peel to bake a cake and throws the fruit into the trash. If the parents had asked why they wanted the orange, both kids could have gotten 100% of what they wanted, but they only got 50%. Charlotte and Jenny want to share a cake, but can't agree on how to divide it fairly regardless of how you cut it. They will both complain that the other gal got a bigger piece. So what do? Well, you ask Jenny to cut the cake, and Charlotte chooses first. Since Jenny knows that Charlotte's side picks, she will split it evenly to avoid getting a smaller piece. As you can see from these examples, negotiation is about finding a common ground that leaves both sides happy without hurting the relationship. So, how do you find those common ground solutions like the ones we just discussed? Here's a 4-key Mendes shift that will make you a master negotiator. Number 1 key: explain why you deserve your ask. Never say, "I want more money." This rubs many people the wrong way. When an employee goes to their boss with this language, the boss will immediately calculate the percentage change they are asking for and say, "What are you doing to earn 35% more money?" Rarely do they have an answer. Often, they didn't even realize they were asking for such a big percentage increase. Back up your ask with facts and numbers. Say, "I did X, Y, and Z, and my plan for the coming months is to accomplish this and that. I think the work I am doing is worth more than I am currently making. So, I wanted to talk to you about a pay raise." Then, don't say anything. Your manager may let you know you're going to get a raise higher than you ask. Key number 2, find a common ground. You should focus on interests, not position. Where there is a common problem, there is always a common ground that serves everyone's interest. In negotiations where people focus too much on their positions instead of shifting their focus to interests, such negotiations break down. The benefits of focusing on interests are obvious, but doing it can be hard. I get it. Positions are clear and specific. It boldly states what you want. Interests might be hidden or vague. So how do you find the interests of the other side? Simply ask why. Why do they want what they want? Try to see things from their point of view. Once you discover their underlying interests, talk about them openly. People listen better if they feel understood. They think those who understand them are smart and kind. If you want them to listen to your interests, start by showing you care and understand their pain. Of course, you need to communicate your interests as well. The other side might not know them. Doing those opens a room, the finding a common ground that's the interest of both parties. Key number 3, craft a plan that leads to mutual gain. Recall the example of the kids fighting over an orange. Instead of splitting at 50-50, they could have found a way for both to get 100%. To craft a creative solution that leads to mutual gain, pick out both sides' interests and turn them into viable options. Several options will jump out at each party as they serve their interest. But the key here is to keep all options open. At this point, no one option is more important than the other. All the possible solutions will flow freely. Don't judge or pick. Just let the other party know these are the options you are okay with. After this stage, start with the most promising options and then discuss ways to improve them. You will see clear differences in options, but the breakthrough is in the differences. Remember the orange example. A wise solution was possible because each side wanted different parts of the orange. It's absurd to think your differences lead to the problem. It's actually the differences that lead to creative solutions. And this leads to the final key. Be fair and just stick to fair standards, no matter if you want to get anywhere with your negotiations. If you fail to use a fair standard, conflicts will always pop up. You want a higher salary, but your boss wants to keep it the same. Instead of arguing back and forth, use objective criteria to decide. Recall the cake example when two gals couldn't share a cake, having one of them divided, and the other choose first is based on a fair standard. Objective criteria are unbiased rules that don't depend on personal opinions. Fine, you want a pay rise. You follow key 1 and present your case with facts. Your boss knows about this fourth key and checks all facts and your argument. So he decided to follow objective criteria and you pass those criteria. Viola, pay rise. If you fail the criteria, no pay rise. He lets you see reason and offers a compromise. Achieve those milestones by a certain date, and we will revisit this pay rise thing. Fair and just... Okay, now you might say all these 4 steps sound fair and nice, but what if the other side isn't playing by fair rules? What if they use dirty tactics? What if they're more powerful? Or what if they attack me personally? Here's how to deal with each of these situations. Let's start with dirty tactics people lie, and use various pressure tactics. Recognizing these tricks often neutralizes them. Mentioning the tactic makes it less effective and may make the other side worry about losing you. Just raising a question can be enough to end it. However, be careful to avoid personal attacks and focus on the problem, not the person. Instead of saying your neighbor is annoying and loud, focus on the problem and say their music is distracting. Can they lower it a bit? What if they are more powerful? If the other side has big guns, don't turn the negotiation into a gunfight. Better to win the war than the current battle. Strategize. The best thing you can do is to develop your best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Think how you would feel walking into a job interview with no other offers. Think how difficult the salary negotiation would go. Now contrast that with how you would feel walking into an interview with 2 other job offers. The difference is power. The more easily you can walk away from negotiation, the greater your power. Just as in a relationship where the person who cares the least holds the power, the same applies here. Always keep your options open.